Hey everybody, my name's Thad Beckham. I'm a primitive bow hunter and I've been out foraging this morning, and let me show you what I got. It may just help you in your early season quest for whitetails. Persimmons, these are native persimmons, native to America, and they are plentiful all over southeast United States. And the muscadine grapes. And this is fantastic deer food. If you find this in the woods, you're gonna find deer. As you can see, I love these fruits myself, and I go out and collect them because they're very good to eat. If a human being can enjoy these fruits, wildlife would just tear them up. I mean, they're very sweet and delicious, and these are very nutritious. I mean, this stuff is just really good for you. I like to go out and collect them. I've had people get mad because I was actually out collecting deer food where they might want to hunt deer. I've had bow hunters say, "Thad, you're eating up all the deer food." But anyway, early season, the soft mass, persimmons here were used for thousands of years here locally for food by Native Americans, and the muscadine grapes also. You know, just about every animal around will feed on this fruit. Turkeys, deer, coyotes, foxes, raccoons, opossums, squirrels, everything will feed on this. So if you're a hunter and you want to find an area where you can concentrate game, especially for whitetail deer, I mean, this is candy. This is pure candy for whitetail deer, I'm telling you. They'll walk over all other foods to get to this soft, sweet stuff. I mean, it is really sweet. Okay, let's talk about soft mass. Some of the things that's made me successful hunting with a primitive bow with flint-tipped arrows. And that's muscadine and persimmon. That's two of my favorites. Deer love them. They're abundant and they're not hard to find. You just need to get out there and do your scouting, and when you find these things, you're gonna be on top of deer, and you're gonna be successful if you can manage to get to those food sources without disturbing the deer and coming in downwind without leaving a big scent trail, concealing yourself, and you'll be in that zone where you can make that short, close range shot with a primitive bow and be successful. These are early season foods for the primitive bow hunter who needs to get close and target exactly where deer's gonna come. You know, when you're hunting an acorn flat, say you hunting a ridge, a sloping ridge with a lot of white oaks falling, and all the trees are falling that year, you got a problem with a primitive bow. You may have to sit there and observe those deer a couple of days until you can figure out exactly where you can ambush them. But usually muscadine and persimmons in little small areas, more compact zones that you can move in, and you can target those couple of trees or couple of vines that's dropping in one small area. That's why I like the early season stuff. And I can tell you, these hunters nowadays walk right past this stuff, and they just don't know. They haven't done their homework. My whole hunting pretty much capitalizes around hunting acorn, chinkapin, soft mass, like our persimmons and muscadines, and about, I don't know, a good portion of the deer I've taken 20 deer with primitive bow, with a self bow, river cane arrow and flint point, and a good portion of those has been on persimmons and muscadines, and the rest is pretty much taken on hard mass, on acorns and chinkapins and that type of thing. But I also like to hunt trails, and you know, I will hunt deer sign, like good hot scrapes and that kind of stuff. Like any hunter, if you find the right stuff and it's hot, I mean, you're gonna hunt it. If you can get in there and get in there quiet without leaving a scent, and you can approach it without spooking game, is the key. For me, being successful with a primitive bow, thinking small has, you know, got big results for me. Oh man, you can just smell the sweetness coming off of this fruit. And I like to take these and put them out in the sun and dry them. I got some drying right now, and I'll preserve them that way, and they'll be good for, you know, a long time. This is a fresh persimmon, still soft and juicy. And this is one that I've dried in the sun, and I preserved it. It just sit out in the sun for about 2.5 days, and you see all the moisture out of it, and now it's preserved. And you know, the seeds are still in there, but when I eat it, I just spit the seeds out and no problem. If you find some nice persimmon trees, the wood from the persimmon tree makes a fantastic self bow. The wood is hard and dense and durable, makes a great self bow. My mom and my grandmother used to forecast the weather by cutting open a persimmon seed and reading the inside of the persimmon seed, you know, to tell whether we was going to have a cold winter or a mild winter. Folklore? I don't know. Maybe not. You can utilize the muscadine vines, the leaves, for hunting white-tailed deer even when there's no fruit on them, because the deer eat the leaves. It's a very good source of food for the deer. If you want to go out and collect some persimmons, you know, for your own personal use, maybe you want to dry them, get them soft. Do not mess with hard persimmons. I mean, if you ever tasted a hard persimmon, which used to be a joke around here, we give people hard persimmons, you won't taste but one of them. You'll learn your lesson pretty quick because they're super bitter. You bite into a hard persimmon, you won't do it but one time, like I say, but once they get soft and the skin gets kind of wrinkled, these things get so sweet. It's just pure natural sugar. Delicious. Hunting white-tailed deer with a primitive bow is a challenge. I mean, it's difficult, but the more you learn about your surroundings and the more you learn about you know, what the deer feed on and the deer's habits and lifestyles, you're going to be much better at hunting them. And just shooting a bow and being able to shoot proper is just a small part of it. I would say one of the lesser parts of it. I mean, if you can get very close to game, you don't have to be a fantastic shot with a primitive bow. I mean, if you get close enough and you can put it, you know, in the vital area of a deer, that's all that's necessary. You want to be a good shot, don't get me wrong, but I tell you what, I've seen some hunters that that were really good woodsmen and outdoorsmen, and they understood the food sources and how to approach game and how to get in there and out without blowing the situation and leaving all their negative behind. And those boys could kill deer regular. And I've seen guys that could drive nails with a bow and arrow but couldn't take game. But the main reason, and let me repeat, to target these foods in early season, because they'll be gone once the weather gets really cold, is because you can focus in on that small zone, because they're usually dropping in a small area or a little clump of trees where you can target and get in range, and you know exactly where the wildlife is coming to, especially whitetails. And you can position yourself close enough downwind that you can get in that zone, in that kill zone. If you're hunting a whole forest that's dropping water oaks and white oaks and overcups and swamp chestnuts, you can have a hard time trying to get right on top of deer unless you know exactly the trees they favor that season, and that may take a couple of days to find out. But if you find this, you're going to find a deer under them. If there's deer in the woods, they're gonna be here eating this food. American persimmons and the American muscadine grape. Man, they just smell so good. Now there's the inside of the persimmon. That's like candy. And there's the seeds. It's just delicious. Bow hunting will never be long-range hunting. So utilize what you got, and those soft mass out there will let you hunt those little small zones where you can be effective. Well, thank you, and I'll see you next time.